Have you ever found yourself idly tapping your fingers, mindlessly scrolling your phones, uh, sitting ups and downs, walking to and fro's, and never stopping, as if it was an endless journey? Have you ever watched any football matches, particularly the penalty kicks, which upset you because the goalkeepers keeps on jumping into the wrong direction? Or if you're not really into football, have you ever been a spectator of an event where you became so impatient watching and waiting for the result, whatever it was, that you unconsciously and sometimes harshly criticize anyone's involved in the event? Have you ever gotten caught yourself caught in a traffic jam where the drivers of all types of cars, including you yourself, cannot stop honking the cars as if what you are all doing could move things faster? Have you ever tried investing or trading in a stock market and regretted because you sold your stock when you thought that the price would go lower and lower, while actually the fact was the opposite? Or have you ever been on the other side of the market where you regretted your decision to buy a particular stock when you thought that the price would go skyrocketing while it went down to the record low? If the answer to any or all of those questions is yes, I have to say that unfortunately you are prone to action bias. Hello everyone, this is Celine from the Experience Research Lab. Today I want to share a few stories and lessons learned from one of the most frequently discussed biases, action bias. So what is action bias? Why and how do you have it? What is the impact on your personal and professional life? And how or what can you do to mitigate the negative consequences? To find the answer to all of those questions, please continue watching by clicking on the link in the comment section and subscribing to my YouTube channel, Experience Research Lab, where you can get more updates on experience, research, data, marketing, and content. So let me start with the answer to the first question. What is action bias? So action bias is actually a psychological phenomenon showing the human tendency to favor action over inaction, often to own benefit, even there is no indication that doing so would point towards a better result. Action bias is automatic response, more similar to a reflex. The driver is an impulse to act and to get a sense of control over the situations and eliminate the problem. At least that's the expectation. So why do human beings have such a bias, which is the action bias? There are several reasons for this. The first reason is the high pressure environment and the high stress situations, such as around the emergency room, where someone is anxiously waiting for the doctor to come out and say, hey, everything is just fine. If you pay attention, this someone will be tapping his or her fingers, scrolling phones, sitting ups and downs, and walking to and fro's. Why? Because he or she is highly stressed and she cannot think of any other way of dealing with such a situation. The second reason is the prior negative experience due to inaction. So in the case of investing or trading, for example, you might be stressed by the rumor about the market crash. You've seen the stock price going down and you have lost thousands of dollars in your portfolio. And considering the loss or the negative experience, you feel the urge to sell the stock so that you can avoid more losses. The reason is the overconfidence. So having experienced such a huge loss, you felt that it's the might be the best time to regain what you have already lost. So you buy more stocks only to lose more, unfortunately. The fourth reason is the social norms or the expectations of others. When you're doing something for someone else or you are aware of the expectations of others, you will be more likely to do what they expect from you. Even though it's just a formality that would lead you nowhere else, but to get everyone see that you are doing something, that you are busy doing something. The research done by Michael Barelli shows that staying in the middle of the goal is statistically better than jumping to the right or to the left during the penalty kicks. Nevertheless, most of the goalkeepers keep on jumping to the right and to the left because that's the expectation. No one expects a goalkeeper to stand still in the middle of the goal, especially during the penalty kicks. Likewise, in the business world, everyone is expecting that everyone's busy doing meetings. As a result, everyone's calendar is full of meetings, even though it's unclear what the meeting is about and what the objectives are. And talking about the objectives, even many more are busy doing OKR and measuring the achievements by the end of the quarter, end of semester, and end of year, while not everyone is actually aligned or on the same page of on what the OKR is and how to use it to measure the achievement. Particularly in research, there is a very strong temptation to interview more customers, for example, only because you have more budgets available and probably more time to do it. And that's the problem with the action bias. The urge, the inspiration, or the instinct to act often involves little to no rational thinking. Consequently, the result is not any better or even far worse than expected. Often it leads to wasteful spending and suboptimal outcomes. A few weeks ago, I created a video on how Medibank managed or took care of the customer experience impacted by the cyber incident. While investigating the incident, Medibank faced two options: or whether or not to pay for the ransom of 10 million US dollar to the criminals responsible for the customer data theft. It was such a highly stressed situation for both Medibank and the customers, and for that reason, Medibank could have acted accordingly and let go of the 10 million US dollar. That's the amount of loss that Medibank could have experienced or suffer from if they have this action bias. Surprisingly, Medibank did the opposite. It decided not to pay even 1 cent to the criminal. The result wasn't that bad. Medibank still has the 10 million US dollar to continue the investigation, to support the customers impacted by the cyber incident, and to work on its cyber security. Lesson learned: everyone, individual and business, is prone to action bias. Fortunately, and this is a good news, that we can try our best to mitigate the negative consequences by spending more time to seek more information, to understand the situations, encourage vigorous thinking, and create an environment for control action taking. The year 2023 is only a few hours ahead of us, but that doesn't necessarily mean we have to rush and get busier than ever. Instead, it might be the best time for us to slow down and start to apply the slow thinking techniques. Focus, pay attention, monitor and control the behavior, formulate an argument, and solve the problem. That's the point. Daniel Kahneman once said that the most effortful slow thinking are those requiring you to think fast. Meanwhile, Blaise Pascal once said that the man's misery derived from inability to sit in a quiet room alone. So have you spent time to sit in a quiet room alone and think about what you need to do in the new year? That's all I can say for today and for the end of the year. Thank you very much for being with me. For more insights into biases and human experiences, please subscribe to Experience Research Lab. See you in the other videos, and cheers.